I would tell my partner, I know that you're a home and a stay-at-home mom role with them all day long, and that's a lot. So how about you get out of the house on a weekend and just go do something, go meet up with a friend, go for a walk. I hadn't taken into account that my partner had a minimum standard of care of the routines that she had worked incredibly hard to keep the children on while she was in her working role all week long. And so I thought, well, I'll just do this job the way that I would do the job. And my minimum standard of care for weekend parenting wasn't as high as my partner's. So when she did finally take me up on the offer and left on a Saturday morning, she came back and found the kids had not been fed lunch. Now, from my point of view, I was working on something that was important to me, but it shouldn't have been more important than like overriding the values of my partner or meeting the basic needs of my children. So in my head, because I had grown up semi-neglected a lot of the time, I thought, well, if I end up feeding them, macaroni and cheese at 1 p.m., what's the big deal? It's a big deal because the kids normally eat at 11:30 to 11:45. So they didn't come ask me for lunch. They didn't look to me to be the person that met their needs. So when my partner walked back in and the kids immediately ran up to her at the front door and say, Mom, I'm hungry, I'm hungry. And she said, Dad didn't feed you? And they say, no. Her heart sinks, rightfully so. In my little stubborn head, I thought, well, I was about to feed them. But about to feed them meant I didn't take care of my responsibilities in the moment, especially not up to the standard of care that my partner would have, which meant that my partner, what I really ended up telling her was, you go out and have fun, have a good time, not here, but I'm not going to take care of the responsibilities in this household. You will end up having to take care of them when you get back. And a lot of us know what that feels like because we work in jobs where a vacation isn't truly a vacation. You're working twice as hard before you leave and twice as hard when you get back. And that doesn't feel good. When you get that response from your partner, somebody who's claiming to love you, that is not showing up for them. At the outset of a relationship, whatever your partner's values are, if you are not completely aligned on them, in order to make that relationship a healthy working one that you would like to keep, one that your partner would want to be in, it does require work. And that work is paying attention. And paying attention, guys, does include looking at body language and affect. Because none of us, I saw a lot of comments in a previous video saying, what, you want me to be a mind reader? No one's saying mind read. Certainly verbal communication where it occurs is helpful. And women do verbally communicate. That's the whole point. We, at least I did, often dismissed it as like, that's not my value. That's not really that important to me right now. And that's where we go wrong because then they stop talking to us, but they're not stopping their communication. Let's be honest about that. Because if I had looked at my partner's face when the kids came up to her and said, Dad didn't feed us lunch, I would have seen everything I needed to know about how to change my behavior.